By the end of today's episode, you'll know exactly how to meet casting directors in today's online industry. Welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we help aspiring screen actors find high-quality auditions, sign with great agents, and book major roles in legit productions. I'm your host, Martin Benson, and today I'll be covering how to actually get in front of casting directors in a world where everything is done online, the best ways to make a great impression so they remember you, and how to build long-term relationships with casting directors without coming across as pushy. So, there are a few different ways to meet casting directors. Number one is for in-person and some online classes and workshops, right? So you can register for these. And then what you should do is make sure to ask good questions in the workshop so that you stand out and get noticed. And the casting director is more likely to say yes if you ask them if you can keep in touch at the end of the workshop. Another thing that you could do is to actually attend industry Q&A panels, like film festivals or acting schools or SAG-AFTRA. They put on these events. And again, same thing as before. You want to ask some good questions. And then this way you can kind of talk to them at the end of the event. And you should save at least one additional good question to ask them so that this way you kind of have like a reason to go up to them at the end. And so you say like, oh, I had one additional question. Thanks so much for being here, by the way. So my question is this. What do you think of that? And then after they answer, you're like, okay, I really appreciate that. By the way, are you open to, creating a relationship where I occasionally send you a message? Can I get your information? Like, do you have a online social media account or email? How do you prefer actors to keep in touch with you over time, right? And by doing something simple like that, you've kind of broken the ice with them, and then you can occasionally reach out, okay? And that long-term relationship is most likely where you're going to start to see additional opportunities from this person. Another thing that you could do is some casting director intensives. So places like Actors Connection or One-on-One or even the Growing Studio, they let you perform in front of casting directors and get some feedback on your acting. And then again, you can ask them. You need to do this to make sure that they're okay with you keeping in touch after the event is over. If you don't ask, then you're never going to get a chance. If you ask and they say no, well, whatever. But if you do ask and they say yes, awesome. Now you've kind of created a relationship. Another place, of course, is auditions, right? So you can make an impression there. And this applies not just to in-person auditions, because these days, of course, auditions are a lot of them are done online. But even for like self-tapes and stuff, if you don't book the role, the thing is that every audition is a chance to impress a casting director and increase their likelihood of them remembering you. So basically, if you find yourself coming back to audition for the same casting director numerous times, right? Or you get the opportunity to submit self-tapes to the same casting director or for the same show numerous times, it means that they're probably starting to like what they see. And they're just waiting for the right moment or the right role for you. So it means that, like, let's say that you've only gotten one audition for a show in the past, 6 months. Then you do some additional training, and now you get another audition for that show. And then a few weeks later, you get another audition for that show, right? And then a few weeks after that, you get another audition for the same show. That means that the casting director is starting to really be like, ooh, this actor is getting there. I'm going to wait for the perfect role. And as long as they keep on doing really good work, I will offer them a role at some point. But if you are seeing 3 or 4 auditions for the same show, and then suddenly you start seeing fewer auditions, or you're not getting auditions for that show anymore, that means that most likely something is off about your acting, and something that you were doing previously you've stopped doing, or something that you fixed that was problematic when you were getting auditions, you're now starting to do that problematic thing again. Okay. And so it's made the casting director be like, I don't think that this actor is ready yet for a legit production. It's really important to keep in mind that these auditions are not just like an audition. It's a way for you to start creating relationships with casting directors. Now, you can also meet casting directors on social media, okay? So if you do like networking online, you can follow casting directors on social sites like Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn. Many of them post about projects they're working on and upcoming workshops that you're doing. And so what you can do is comment and share their posts and occasionally congratulate them on projects. And then if they're casting for an upcoming production, you can even mention that you submitted to it on the casting website and you're looking forward to auditioning for them soon. Okay, this way they kind of pay extra attention to your submission. Now, how do you keep in touch longer term? Well, basically you want to send strategic but not annoying updates. Okay, so once you've broken the ice initially with the casting director, you want to email them every few months with things like short, friendly notes or quick updates on what you've been working on, or even a recent headshot or a new reel clip. Okay, by doing this over the long period of time, you're going to essentially sort of stay on their radar, and then they may offer you certain roles at some point down the line. I have other podcast episodes that I go way deeper on this and give really specific strategies like how to reach out cold to a casting director and all of that, but that's beyond the scope of today's episode. Remember that meeting casting directors these days in the online world is not going to just happen by chance, right? It's unlikely that an agent will set up a meeting for you. So instead, you have to be the one to break the ice and ask them if you can stay in touch with the casting director. Well, thanks for listening. Now, before I wrap, I just want to read a recent review that I got for the podcast. This podcast is great. Martin is awesome at helping actors navigate through the complex challenges of getting agents, booking auditions, and helping to hone in on the right mindset. Definitely worth giving a listen and a follow. Thanks so much, Maggie Ray. I really appreciate that kind review. Now, if you've been enjoying the show, I'd love to offer you something special. For a limited time, I'm offering actors completely free access to my Kickstart Your Acting Career mini course. It normally sells for $77. All you have to do is post an honest, detailed review online at ratethispodcast.com/actorsuccess. Again, that is ratethispodcast.com/actorsuccess. And then just shoot me an email with the review that you wrote so I can check it out. I may even read it aloud in a future episode. You can email me at martin@cityheadshots.com, and as a thanks, I'll give you free access to the course. And if you, for any reason, have not enjoyed the show, feel free to tell me about that as well. I'd love to know how I can improve it. Reviews really do help the show grow, and the more that we get, the more easily other actors will find it as well. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.